Yeah, we're on.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 5, season 1 of the New York Red Bulls UK podcast. I'm Scott, and I am joined today by Luke Hume. Luke, how are you?
I'm not too bad. I won't make a joke. I'll be making for the past going so long. I'll leave that in. I'll leave that in the old. Before we got 2 wins in the balance, leave that before then. Now we're moving on. 2 wins in the balance, third in the East. So yeah.
The dodgy jokes are long gone. Fantastic.
Yeah.
How's your week been?
Yeah, it's been all right. Been working. It says a lot when, for most today, I thought today was Tuesday. It wasn't until about 4 p.m. I realised it was a Wednesday today. That shows one day's did become another to me. So I don't know how. I had meetings all day. So I don't know how I thought it was Wednesday because I didn't have meetings on Tuesdays. But I just thought it was Tuesday all day.
As you do. Well, no, it is Wednesday, which means we are ever closer to New York Red Bulls' next fixture, which is very, very exciting. Playing Philadelphia Union away from home. More on that a little later.
Yeah.
But generally, though, I think it's been quite a good week in Red Bull land, don't you think?
I would say so. Yeah, 2 wins. Two didn't manage to get a win, but I got a point. I bet pretty disappointed with a point really, but we beat Chris Almets. It's always nice. Always nice to beat your former coach. 2 wins up to third in the East. Our new DPs in the country. Everything's coming out well, I would say.
Yeah, I'd say it's all good. I mean, looking across the league this week, you know, there's been quite a lot going on. Full fixture list. First of all, we had Sporting Kansas City at home play Austin FC, beating them 2-1. That was the Monday fixture, the most recent one. We've had El Trafico, the first that Chicharito's been able to play in. LA Galaxy winning that 2-1 as well, although, you know, Carlos Vela was out. So how much can you really say about that?
Yeah.
The Rapids managed to beat Minnesota United 3-2.
Minnesota.
Again, I mean, Minnesota, I had very high hopes for Minnesota this year.
Did I say? What do I knew it was going to happen.
Well,
I
would say I don't have a Western team, but if I were to have a Western team, it'd be Minnesota United. Largely because my favourite band is Oasis, and they sing Wonderwall at the end of every game. So, you know, I think you've got to rep that. But no, Minnesota losing again after a poor start to the season. Into Miami, drawing with Atlanta United. Joseph Martinez getting his first goal.
Good point for Miami.
No, decent point. I mean, it was nice to see Joseph scoring again. Obviously,
did make me laugh when we saw what MLS put out saying it didn't take long for him to score when it actually took him 4 games to score. If we're being technical, I'm not taking it away from him, but to say it didn't take long is slightly misleading.
I'd agree. Portland Timbers lost 2-1 to Seattle at home in the derby there. You watched that, didn't you? What did you think of that game?
I did watch it. 2 PKs, 3 PKs. One got retaken. It was a very bizarre game. It's a typical West game. Like I would say, Portland and Seattle are two of the best teams in the West, along with Kansas City. I was there with 3 runaway teams in the West, I would say. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised Seattle came away with it. But Portland did not too bad. They're both for great seasons. They're both all getting up the class quite easily.
I don't think there's anything to worry about there. San Jose Earthquakes beat Real Salt Lake 2-1 away from home. Chris Wondo getting another 2 goals. Wonders never cease with that man. I don't think he knows what aging means.
No.
Continuing to score goals.
Same.
Crazy. Chicago Fire losing 0-2 to Philadelphia at home.
But at least Chicago can now say we don't have a Wets logo in MLS.
Well, more on that later.
It's more victories.
Absolutely. Columbus Crew, again, linking that in quite well. Or Columbus SC, should we say, managed to beat DC United 3-1. DC United having a very poor start to the season, which I'm anything but thrilled about.
Oh yes, always thrilled about that, aren't we?
Nashville with a victory 2-0 over New England Revolution.
I left my wheel.
Always, what a goal! What a performance! Team of the week from Big Alex. So very exciting. Yeah. Whitecaps beating Montreal in another Canadian out of Canada derby, which is the joys of COVID MLS.
Only in the MLS.
Of course. FC Dallas and Houston Dynamo drawing in the Texan derby, 1 each. And Orlando City and New York City drawing 1-1 in the We Were expansion teams at the same time derby. That's what I'm going to call that one. It's been
you could also call it both of us have not lived up to our expectations.
We could definitely call it that. But no, I think it's been a sort of exciting week in the league. I've watched a couple of games and a lot of highlights, a lot of goals. I've enjoyed it this week. It's been good. Even sweeter for the fact that Red Bulls obviously got the 3 points. Looking back over the last couple of weeks, obviously we've recorded 2 victories since the last pod, beating Chicago Fire 2-0, goals from Christian Caceres Jr. and Caden Clark, and then obviously following that up with the 2-0 victory at home against TFC. Goals again from Caden Clark, and this time a debut goal for Frankie Meyer. Just sort of loosely, what your thoughts on the last 2 games in relation to the first 2 games that we didn't manage to win?
We spoke about this a bit more in detail in our review, the Red Bull review video of our match, so that you can find that on the YouTube if you want to go a bit more in detail and what we thought and what about the match. But in a whole, it was a good point. Earlier in the match, you saw a few mistakes, similar to ones we saw in the first 2 games. Toronto didn't capitalise, and it was quite an easy victory in the end for the Red Bulls. But what I think was a lot of the early signs we saw in the first 2 games, but didn't quite come to fruition. I came out with the last 2 games. Like Garrett's too bad. He's indebted. Because I got it in my head now. I keep saying it wrong. I'm going to say it wrong. Identity.
Well done, yeah.
That's really coming to play now. We forgot about the 3 at the back. Never ever be down again. Look at Wayne with Red Bull Dungeon. Never be down again. Going back to the diamond. The victories. You can't really say anything better than that, can you?
No. I think we look at what we've done. We look at the 2 teams we've played. Chicago Fire, I don't think are anybody's pick for playoffs, but Chicago are never a bad side. They never have seasons where they're dreadful. And I think being able to beat Chicago in the sort of manner we did was a really, really good result.
Yeah.
And it is nice to see, in that game and after, obviously Caden Clark continued to put the ball in the net and produce these sort of top performances. The lad's definitely not going to be around for too much longer. But at the moment, the contributions that we're getting from him are sort of beyond even expectation, really. His performances are strong. He's scoring basically every game. He's in my fantasy team and definitely not a player I'd want to take out anytime soon. But no, that was fantastic. And then obviously Toronto's always one of the toughest fixtures in the league. Toronto's always, again, you look at and go, oh, this would be a bit of a tasty one. And then obviously with Armas going over there, added a bit of fuel to the fire. I think it's been a really good couple of weeks, really. 2 good results, 2 clean sheets, most importantly, which obviously Coronel on the back line will be happy with. I think Sean Nealis has got to really, really feel quite grateful that he's come off the back of 2 games with 2 clean sheets. But
yeah, we won't go into
that.
that.
Pardon?
We'll move on to that quite quickly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But no, I'm really happy. I'm really happy with where things are going, and I'm really excited every week. I don't think I've been this excited for a good few years, maybe since 2018. Since I've really thought, oh, every week we can have a go at these.
I mean, a couple weeks ago on Monday we were on the you were fast asleep, but I was on the I was talking to about the on I was watching the NYRBDD podcast. And I was saying that in a couple of months, this team could be very, very scary. If you think about it, this team's not even fully fit yet, not got our DP yet. Our DP is now in counter training, but not played yet. Like in a few months, it could be very, very scary.
I think as well, you look at, I think from inside the club, we never really took much notice of this, but I think it's important to sort of mention that journalists, especially journalists over in the States, were incredibly critical of this team pre-season.
Critical.
There were several expectations of 13th, 15th, 8th, 9th. We saw all sorts and week 1 power rankings, I'm sure we were like 12th, if not lower down. We were really, really quite low down on the power rankings as well. And I think none of us really took it particularly seriously.
I think I know more, but I know more than MLS Panthers do. I'm in Britain.
But I think it's really nice now that we're starting to play at a level that's starting to make people sort of have a look. I know there was a post that I read the other day, and it said New York Red Bulls exceeding expectations this year already. I think, well, whose expectations are we exceeding?
Yeah.
We're not exceeding my expectations. We're doing what I thought we would, which is have a good season due to a good manager and a good team.
He gets the whole season gets give you either from 2015, like when no one believes in that team. I'm not saying we won the Shield this year. I think we all won. You can easily, for me, you could easily finish top in the East because you don't even really get a runaway team in the East, do you? Like
the East is always the sort of more competitive side, but I think that's because I don't think there are as many strong teams in the East as there are in the West.
No, I agree.
When you look at that,
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's team tops East in the end, and at the end of the season.
You love a bold claim, don't you?
I love a bold claim. To be fair, Anthony, friend of the show, is also making that bold claim on the New York Red Bull Discussion Group podcast. If you're not a friend of the show, you can go and watch it.
Another friend of the show.
We love friends. We love friends. We love friends.
We do. We like them very much. But no, I think it's been a pleasing opening couple of weeks of the season, and there's a lot more to come. Moving on now, I just wanted to have a look at New York Red Bulls too. I think it's a big thing that we need to mention that we haven't yet in terms of other podcasts is that thanks to Anthony, we now have New York Red Bulls 2 match recaps coming out every single week. This is a huge, huge, huge step up in our content. We don't just want to be New York Red Bulls first team. We want to be involved with absolutely everything that's going on at the club. We want to show every aspect from top to bottom of what's happening at the club that we all love. So I think this is a really, really exciting addition to what we've got so far. New York Red Bulls 2 have played their first 3 fixtures of the season. The first game was against Hartford Athletic, which was a 2-1 defeat. I've watched highlights and I've seen a lot of sort of bits and pieces. I think the team will be a bit disappointed to come away with that, but I think it's early season games. Followed that up with a 3-2 defeat to Hartford Athletic again on the 1st of May. So 2 narrow defeats. And then on the 8th of May, a couple of days ago, They drew 1 each with Charleston Battery. Have you managed to watch any of it so far?
I managed to watch the last game. Obviously, Red Bull 2 games are very, very hard to come across in the UK. Like it's basically impossible to watch it. It's much easier to watch MLS. Basically impossible to watch USL. We can't get ESPN Plus here. We used to be able to get MLS Live, but you can't get that anymore. So we can't watch that. So it's very hard to watch it. I managed to watch the highlights. A former Red Bull man got a goal for the Battery. He was our draft pick in
Yeah.
just his last season. Was it 2017?
Yes, I think so.
17, his draft pick, and he never played for us. I think he played for twos a bit. He scored a goal, so it was a sucker punch really for the Red Bulls. Red Bull, the twos are not as good as they were a couple of years ago. That's pretty safe to say when they won the regular season championship and they won USL Cup as well. But that's not what the twos are for. They're a development team. We're there to get minutes on the pitch, get players developing. That's what John's job is. It's not to win USL. So long
I mean, I'm absolutely certain that he'll want to win USL every year.
He would. Yeah.
He's managing a football team. He's going to want to do something.
Oh yeah,
positive.
but being realistically, he's probably not going to. Especially with a team like if you look at that 2016 team, you had a consistent team, and some of the best. You look at some players that had Tyler Adams, Etienne, so many great players in that team who then came up to the first team and moved away eventually. Yeah, Aaron Long was in that team as well. So you had a great team, and it's not quite clicked. And also, you've got players getting back and forth for now as well. But hopefully, they can get back at MSU Saturday. That'll be Friday night, Friday their time, I think. The Saturday, yeah, it'll be Friday their time. It's midnight at our time. So it'll be Friday night for you guys. Back here, they're playing Miami. Hopefully, get the first win. Otherwise, that's 4 unbeaten. That's four without a win, which not a great way to start a season, really, is it?
It's not what you want, is it? But, no, I mean, I think what's been positive is the performances from Jake LaClava. With I think he's got 3 goals now across the last few games. We always look at that player that goes down there and that does well. And you always have to ask the question when it comes to New Red Bulls, is this a season that player comes up and contributes to the first team? I don't necessarily think that that's definitely going to happen with LaClava, but I think it's really nice to see players striving to try and push forward and try and get that place in the roster for the first team.
Yeah, I agree. I'm getting there. I don't think we're getting there. And we'll hopefully we can make the playoffs. We didn't make the playoffs last year. You played 16 games, I think, in the end. It's hard to judge last season, really. But I'm sure we'll pick it up soon.
Absolutely. We've also managed to see Wickham and Carmona play. He played in the first game for Red Bulls 2. And since then we've seen Reyes play. That's the first sort of. I mean, we got to look at Carmona for a couple of minutes against SKC. Reyes we've not seen yet in a New York Red Bulls shirt, so I think it was really nice to sort of see him go and get some minutes in
Always nice.
some sort of Red Bulls jersey.
Always nice to see him get some minutes as well. Because I would imagine we might see him get slowly integrated into the team soon. I wonder. Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I think at the minute, obviously, with Gold Cup coming up and Aaron Long not necessarily. I mean, I'd be very surprised if Aaron Long is he's not called up and plays the whole sort of tournament. We're going to be left with Nealis, who seems to have been now the first choice partner centre half.
Yeah.
Tarek, who played when we played the back 3. And then Reyes, I think it's probably good for Reyes being the younger of the 3 to go and get some minutes while Aaron Long's playing, and then hopefully step up and be a positive addition.
Yeah, I would say that's probably quite likely. I would say.
Yeah. Some big news in the Red Bull world this week is the fact that DP signing Patrick Klamala of Celtic fame is now not only in the country. That was what I was set to report up until today, that Patrick Klamala is in the country, but now he's training with the boys. He is with the club. He is on the training field, and we have been told that he will wear the number 10 shirt this season, which is always quite exciting. I like a good squad number. And the number 10 is always
Yeah, it's always
an exciting player. Are you excited to see Kamala?
I mean, yeah, I think who isn't excited to see him? There's only big expectations on his shoulder, but I'm pretty sure he will live up to it. If I chuck a fair bit of money on him.
I think for me, you look at what we've done so far this season. I think Brian White has shown flex of quality. I think Tom Barlow has shown his ability to get into goal scoring positions, but then not necessarily managed to finish. Danny Royal, when he's come on, has got up and about it. But I think it's going to be really fantastic to have a proper, out-and-out, talented partner for Fabio. Fabio's performances at the minute and his ability to create, he's just begging for another striker to be at the end of that ball.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's gonna. I can't wait.
I agree. I agree. It's great he's training. I'll just say we won't see him for a little while. We forget to say that. I would be surprised if we see him before the New England game. Yeah, and that's a very early estimate.
I mean, we say that, but I mean, Tom Edwards only flew in, managed to train for about a week. You know, I'm not saying we'll see him on Saturday, but I think Tom Edwards only trained for about a week or two over here, and then was in the squad for the Chicago game.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that is true.
So it's not impossible.
No, it's not impossible. Yeah, I guess we could walk in.
Right, and right now we are very, very lucky to be joined by one of MLS UK's sort of most popular by Twitter followers, in my opinion, fan groups. That is Philadelphia Union UK, Philly Union UK. Hello, mate. How are you?
Hello. Yes, I'm good. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, no, very well, thank you. To those of you that want to know you on a more personal level, your name is Anthony. Yep.
It is. Yes, it is.
Lovely, lovely. So, Anthony, obviously, big game coming up on Saturday. How's the season gone so far?
So far, I'm not as happy as what I thought I was going to be honest with you. Obviously, going off the back of last season, I feel like we're not at the same level as what we were hoping to be. But it's still early days yet, of course. It's still early days. So we'll have to wait and see what the next few games brings of us.
No, absolutely. Obviously, you won the Sports Shield, which, let me just say, is our trophy and our trophy only, because we like to win that.
Not anymore, it's not.
don't like giving that one up, to be honest. Yeah.
We won ours doing a 34-game season. It's not 23, whatever we played last year.
that was my next question, really. Do you think, and I mean, this is completely objective from an outside point of view, do you think that the pandemic had an impact on you winning the Sports Shield last season? Do you think the squad was capable to do that anyway?
I don't think the pandemic had much of an influence, to be honest with you. I feel it's the same for every team in the MLS at the end of the day. I personally, not being biased, I just personally think we were just the better team. There's no sugarcoating it, in my opinion. I just think we were the better team.
I'm going to be controversial here. I still think the Sports Shield shouldn't be given out last year. Not because Philadelphia won it, but I guess
I know what's coming.
I don't think you can give a team a trophy for the best record when you play the same team about 4 times and play other teams once. Like, I know MLS schedule is already bonkers, but it just made no sense to me. But we only really did that because we wanted to find major facts. Um, I'd rather Philadelphia win it than Toronto because I hate Toronto so much. Sorry to my
I'm not a
Toronto.
fan.
Sorry to
I'm
my
not a fan.
Toronto friends.
It's Michael Bradley that does it for me. I think he puts me off the most.
I think it's very mutual.
Mm.
I think you made that point, Luke, on a previous video where you said if you don't support Toronto, you don't like them, and I think that's pretty much the way it goes.
I think that's very true. I think it's very true.
In terms of Red Bulls and Philadelphia, there's been, the way I can only put it is there's been sort of a rivalry that's been sort of from our point of view anyway, a rivalry that's been sort of attempted to be fired up from the Philadelphia side. Rebel New York, we've always been a little bit more. I mean, we have DC United as our main rival. We have New York City FC as the sort of more manufactured recent rival. And I know that Philadelphia are quite, with them being only sort of 2 hours up the road from Jersey, quite interested in creating a rivalry with the club. Do you feel particularly antagonistic against Red Bulls, or is it just not really that deep?
I don't think the word I want to use is something I should use. I strongly dislike you.
Fantastic.
I was going to use the word hate, but I thought I better not use that. So no, I'm not. No, I think it's just how. Obviously, I've supported Philadelphia Union for close to 9 years now, and I've just been manipulated to dislike Red Bulls. It's just been we've always disliked you. So
yeah. No. I get that. I mean, again, like it seems to be really funny. I love it when our games come round because we tend to get from your Twitter admin a big barrage of sort of rubbish here, there, and everywhere, including. Do you remember that video? Did you see that video of the New York Red Bull car being like battered?
Yeah, it was a famous YouTuber called is it Ed Basemaster or something? He's actually from Philadelphia, and they used him obviously on the videos and stuff, and I think it was brilliant.
I mean, we went the other way. It was very much like, are you okay? Are you okay over there? You know,
I thought it was a fantastic video. I thought it was very clever, very creative, but each to their own.
Each to their own, indeed, my friend. Each to their own. Okay, so obviously something that we don't like talking about at the minute because we're not in it anymore again is the Champions League. I've seen a couple of your games in the Champions League, but I can't say I watched the last sort of time. How's that going, and how do you see that going?
To be honest with you, I feel that I think the Champions League is something we're really focusing on at the minute. Obviously, we've got Kasper Schmeichel up top, and he's the top goal scorer currently in the Champions League. I think he's bagged 5 goals in 4 games, I believe. So, yeah, I think it's a competition we're very worthy of winning. I'd like to see us lift it as well. I'd like to see us win the competition.
I wouldn't be entirely surprised if you didn't get to the final. I still don't think it's an MLS side to win this year. That's just a personal, and that's nothing to do with. I just think we're still not quite there. I think we're still a couple of years off being that sort of more dominant league. But I think you're definitely the sort of, out of all the MLS teams that I've watched in the competition this year, you've looked by far the strongest.
I somewhat agree there. I do think we have looked very strong. Not a biased opinion, obviously, because I'm a Philadelphia fan. But you look at the likes of we've got Club America in the semi-final, and to beat Portland the way that they did, you know, it's not someone we need to underestimate or take for granted. It's a team that they're a very good side, and you know. We've got to go out there all guns blazing and not underestimate them at the end of the day. So, I believe
what are
we can
your
win
thoughts on the Champions League?
Regarding what?
Sorry, that was I was just passing it over to Luke. Just seeing what he
Sorry, I
thought as
didn't
well.
really hear what you said. You broke up a bit.
After sleep.
You broke up a bit. What did you say?
What are your thoughts on Philadelphia in the Champions League this year?
I haven't really watched much of the Champions League, if I'm being honest. We're not in it, so I like to watch it to bring back bad memories of Jesse trying to play Brad Wright Phillips for number 10 and Yonkers tactics. So, I mean, I agree. They won't win it. Not them, but MLS team, but not quite at that level. And I personally, being a Red Bull fan, want that to be the first team to win it. And we will, if my prediction is correct, and we will top 8 this year, we'll be in it next year. So
that's the aim. The last game between Red Bulls and Philadelphia didn't end too well for us, if I remember correctly.
The playoff game.
Oh well, yes, that one. It's not been great.
No, I mean, you look at the last 3 games, the last 3 meetings between Red Bulls and Philadelphia. I think we've won all 3, haven't we?
You have won all 3, yeah.
I think is it 3-0, 1-0, and then 4-3 in the playoffs,
and then
3-2.
Yeah.
Is it 3? Is it 4-3 in the playoffs? I think it was 4-3.
Oh, 3-2, I think.
Was it 3? Was it
3-2? I think, yeah. Yeah, 3-2, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
No, it was 1 goal in it. I know that.
There was definitely 1 goal in it. I know. Yeah, I'm sure it was 4-3. I could be wrong.
Actually, that seems to ring a bell now. I think you might be right.
Could have been 4-3. I think it was 4-3. Yeah. But based on those results, do you think
we did play the parts last year. We lost to Columbus. 3-2.
No, this is from before.
It was last year. We were 3-0 was the last game in September.
Do you think those results will have any sort of bearing on Saturday?
No. I think you can't rely on previous results. I don't think that's something that you shouldn't look at it like that. At the end of the day, you're facing, by all means, you're facing the same 11, but you're facing the same 11 that are going to perform a hell of a lot different than what they have in the last 3 games, if that makes sense. So, no, them 3 results don't matter to me.
And looking at the game, sort of on a Philadelphia perspective, if you were to pick 3 players that we need to sort of worry about, who would those 3 be?
Kasper Shabilko, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just a poacher. He's there. He scores goals. Leon Flax, the new signing that we got, the American German fella, centre midfielder. He's been outstanding this season. I mean, with the ban that Jose Martinez had against New York City, he's had to fill in at the number 6 role, and not to mention he's also played, fullback as well for in one of the games. He's been outstanding. He's been absolutely brilliant. And Andre Blake as well. I mean, his stats speak for himself, really. He's in my opinion, he's probably the best goalkeeper in the MLS.
I would go with that.
I wouldn't argue with that, to be honest.
I mean, it's not a biased opinion. Obviously, you're gonna presume it's going to be a biased opinion, judging obviously because I'm a Philadelphia fan. But no, it's not a biased opinion. If there was someone better than him, I'd happily admit. But I don't see anyone better.
10 years ago, probably about 5 years ago, I probably said Bill Hammond from DC.
Yeah.
But I think he's not of the cut and match that he was back before he moved to Europe, when he didn't. I think he wanted to forget about life. He stayed in Europe because it often didn't go very well, did it? So we'll move on from that. His trip across Europe quite quickly. But I should just say also, Philadelphia UK will also be doing a piece on our website coming out I think Thursday. I think we come out Thursday for opposition report when he'll be telling us who we should look like for bit about for Philly UK, and who we should look like for bit of some fun facts that'll be coming out on our RBNYUK.com on Thursday evening.
No, a little bit more.
GMT,
We like the interaction, and we are trying to try and get people as involved as possible. So we're looking forward to that one. From your point of view, looking at the new Red Bull side, this is what we sort of say to all of our guests. If you could pick 2 players from our side to come into your side, completely unbiased opinion, purely based on quality, where would you go?
Currently this season, Caden Clark, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been brilliant. You know, he's I don't even know how old he is. How old is he?
17.
You know what I mean? And he's producing these performances like he's a veteran. You know, he's playing fantastic. Fabio, brilliant player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he'd get in any MLS team in the league. Sean Davis as well. I think he reminds me very much of Alejandro Bedoya, who plays. He's our captain. It reminds me very much of him. I think they're 3 players that I'd be happy to see him in a Philadelphia shirt, and they're probably the 3 players that I wouldn't say afraid, but to watch out for against you.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think Clark, he speaks for himself at the minute. The performances he's putting in is just something.
I think
else.
I think Clark's bagged. Has he bagged 3 goals this season?
3 goals, yeah, 3 goals.
Yeah, and Fabio as well with 4 assists. Yeah. You know, he's a. I mean, the stats speak for himself, don't they? Really.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So.
No, I couldn't agree more. Fabio has been a wonderful addition. We've only got him on loan until June. It was sort of a very short-term loan. The idea of that being, let's have a look at him. It's going to work or it's not going to work, and it's going to be quite cost-effective either way. But I'm absolutely certain that
I'd be shocked if we don't take the option out. That'd be gobsmacked.
There is an option on the loan contract, and it'll come through without problem. It's really nice seeing us having number 9. Somebody that's aggressive and powerful and that's not afraid sort of getting in amongst it, because for the last 2 years, we had no Bradley due to injury in 19, and then in 20 obviously he'd gone, so we've not really had a proper striker in a couple of years, so it's really quite exciting to see that, to be honest. And as for Sean Davis has been almost sort of revitalised under Struber. He's been moved further back at the sort of base of our diamond, and does a lot of the sort of nasty work. And he's looking so much.
He's fitted in well. He has fitted in well. He's fitted in really, really well.
I mean, I was quite critical of Sean Davis. I've never been his biggest fan, but he's doing really well, and he was actually. I was never too convinced more of his leadership abilities. I didn't think it was the right choice as captain, but he's actually been really, really highly praised by Gurus Duba, which is, and obviously he done a lot of his personality with taking his shit. Like I'm pretty sure if you're a bad captain, you won't be a captain anymore for him. So he obviously is a good captain, and he's obviously is really, really picking up. You can also find his presser on our website too at RBNYUK.com. Get that plug in there. Get that plug.
Love that.
Insert that plug.
Obviously we are 3 blokes stood here from Warrington, Essex, and Wolverhampton, who all, for some reason or another, follow a team from halfway around the world. What was it that got you into MLS, and not just MLS, but Union in general?
Oh, you're in for a story.
Fantastic.
So I've always enjoyed the NFL, which obviously American football, and I follow a band called the Eagles, and
great band.
it was because of them I started following the Philadelphia Eagles, which is the NFL team in Philadelphia. And then, obviously, through the line, one thing led to another. I started following the Flyers, the Sixers, the Phillies, obviously the basketball, the ice hockey, the baseball, And then we created a soccer team. And obviously, being a Brit, I was like, I'm up for following this. I'm up for it. And that's as simple as that. It's literally as simple as that.
Fantastic. Who's your team in the UK?
Oh God, it's Wigan Athletic.
Right, fair play.
Yeah.
Wigan's
It's about 15 minutes up the road from where I live.
Paul Cook. Paul Cook is a wonderful man, isn't he? Paul Cook. Love Paul Cook.
I'm sorry.
Paul Cook. What a wonderful man.
Paul Cook.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't even know where he's gone now, Paul Cook. I'm not sure where he's at. Oh, is he Ipswich? Oh, shit.
He's taking League One champions next year.
Oh, yeah.
League One champions next year.
Next year, yeah.
Oh, lovely man.
No, that's cool. It's always nice to sort of figure out whereabouts you are and who we support.
It's not easy being a Wigan fan. That's probably one of the main reasons I follow Philadelphia so much. At least they bring more success.
I think we all feel you here. I think Scott felt it. I definitely feel it.
Don't get me wrong. Prior to this season, Wolves have had a very good couple of years. I can't knock it, but generally, as a Wolves fan, it's not been the easiest ride.
It's been great.
No. So if you were to pick your favourite ever Philadelphia player all time,
he's gone.
He's gone.
It's not going to have an effect on that, is it?
No, not at all. Don't worry. We'll
wonderful.
We'll just put this little bit about it and we'll get it in there.
Yeah. No, my phone died. That's all. I've just had to plug it in. That was all.
Fair. Right, we're gonna give it about 4 or 5 seconds of silence, and then I'll crack on. All right.
Yeah. Finish the question you were just previously on, and I'll be good to go.
Right. So, if looking back over the years, who would you say is your all-time favourite Philadelphia player, sort of over the last sort of 9 years, as you've said, and also your current favourite Philadelphia player?
So, like most Philadelphia Union fans, you got Sebastian Latour. He was obviously the first ever person to score a goal in a Philadelphia uniform. He's obviously a club legend, So he's probably my all-time favourite. He still represents the club now. He still commentates. He's still there, all there behind the scenes. Currently, it's a tough one. I love the boys.
If you were to get a name on the back of that beautiful blue and yellow jersey, I like how
you called it beautiful.
It's gorgeous, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. Absolutely love it.
If I was to get a name on the back of it, it would have been Brendan Aronson before he left.
He's in our family now.
Yeah. He's in the Red Bull family, yeah. Probably Bedoya, just because he's just captain, pure leader, pure American. I just love the guy. Just love him. I think he's a great asset in any team. Yeah, probably Bedoya.
Favourite ever Philadelphia Union memory?
The first ever goal. It's definitely the first ever goal. Or most recently, winning the Supporters' Shield. But that's the most recent one.
And if there was a moment to forget, if there was something that you want to erase from the history of the club forever, what would?
Any loss to the New York Red Bulls. Plain and simple.
Fantastic. Just want to talk now really in terms of MLS UK. Obviously for Luke and I and for Ronnie, and it's a huge thing. It's something that we are incredibly passionate about. We're not just doing this to promote New York Red Bulls. We're not just doing this to promote soccer in New York or the fact that we support a specific club. We really want to push and drive the love for the league and the game over in the States over here. And we want to make people like Sky and like Free Sports stand up and listen a bit and say, look, there is interest and there is intent and there is desire for this league over here. How do you feel about the whole sort of movement?
I mean, I feel like people's opinions towards, obviously, especially the British, their opinions towards the MLS are completely wrong, in my opinion. Obviously,
I always find it very stereotypical. It's something you hear from down a pub, and it's just the truth after that. What I find.
You get oh, it's a retirement league, oh, it's a terrible league and such and such. And all I say is, have you ever watched it? And they say no, and I'm like, well, there you go then. Until you can watch it, then you can have your opinion on it. But if you've watched it and that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But if you've not watched it and you're going to start giving me grief about it, then don't even bother, because it's not. It's a brilliant league. It's a brilliant league.
How would you like the representation of the league to change in the UK?
I want us to be more recognisable. Just genuinely just want us to be more recognisable. I think it's a league that should be recognised by everyone else to be the same. Well, I'll say the same standard as the Premier League, maybe a little bit below that standard, but it's a fantastic league to watch. And if you can get the fan base that follows the NFL, obviously because the NFL has become massive over here in the last 5 to 10 years, and I don't understand why the MLS can't do the exact same thing, because it's a brilliant league to watch. It's a brilliant league to follow. So
yeah,
I couldn't agree more.
I think that's what we're kind of trying to do. Like it's got to say with Fitz, we really pushing media and kind of trying to become a force. I mean, Red media going well so far.
You're doing a fantastic job. Yeah, you're doing a fantastic job.
Cheers, boss. Really appreciate it.
We're getting all the UK lads on. We had Chris Egan from LA Galaxy last week or the week before. Well, last podcast.
Last week, yeah.
Last podcast. Next week we're going to have Orlando on next week. So we're really going to try and push it, and hopefully MLS will start working and do a bit more. MLS don't do much for the UK people either, and that's a bit of a pet peeve of mine. But we'll keep pushing.
That's all we've got to do. We've just got to keep pushing it, because I think a fair amount of people, obviously, a lot of the games are being played on Free Sport TV, which is obviously a UK channel. And I believe the more viewers that we continue to get on those channels, the more it's going to expand, and then it has a knock-on effect, then, doesn't it? And then,
of course.
Obviously, of course, it can grow. The whole community can grow. And obviously, it's the likes of us and you and the other MLS UK pages which are going to, advertise and expand this, to bring it over and to make the MLS in the UK, a big thing.
I think all we can do is keep pushing, and I think obviously Orlando UK are huge. I've done quite a really good job of. Basically, like when we said we were going to do this, I got notion admitting they were what we locked up to, weren't they, Scott? They were what we thought we want to be like them, and so they set the bar really high, and we're trying to achieve that. And all people can keep doing is like start a podcast, start a blog, get blogging, and
we're already very excited for what we hope will be the Philadelphia Union podcast at some point. We want to hear it all.
I'm working on it. Fantastic. But like you say there, you got the Orlando City UK, and they've set the bar, and we don't want to be exactly like them, but they've set the kind of level and the kind of understanding of where we want to be. You know.
Absolutely. You know, the guys over there have done fantastically, and we're working very
doing
hard to emulate.
Doing a brilliant job.
Emulate some sort of success. That's again doing it our own way, putting our own stamp on it. We're also.
Oh yeah. But you've got that marker to work with.
Yeah.
You know, you understand. You know, and you learn things from other groups. You know, I learn things from you, as much as I hate to say it. I learn things from you. You know, I learn things from Orlando City. I learn things from Seattle, New England, Atlanta, Chicago, all of them. I learned so many things from these people, and it benefits you in the long run. So, yeah.
No, mate, I couldn't agree more. Finally, mate, we come to the point. What's your score prediction for Saturday?
Well, I've already thought about this. I've had a good think. I'm going to go 3-1 Union. I'm going to go 3-1. I think we'll concede. I know Andre Blake's been playing ridiculously good recently, but I do think we will concede. But I do think we'll beat you 3-1. I can't exactly go against us, can I?
No. Of course not.
No one ever goes against your team, do they?
I'll go 3-1. What's your guys' predictions? What we saying?
I reckon we'll come away with a 2-1 win.
2-1 win.
And it'll be narrow and it'll be tight and it'll be a bit scrappy at times.
I never thought I'd see today you're more optimistic than I am.
You're going for a New York loss, aren't you?
I'm not going for a lot. I can never go for a lot, but
I'm going to go for a draw.
I'm going for a draw. I think both. I think these teams both. I think both teams to be top 2 in the East. I can't remember the season. I think these Philadelphia and the Red Bulls are the 2 best teams in the East by also some distance, but are the 2 best teams.
A fair amount of distance, yeah.
Yeah, the 2 best teams.
Oh, I'm enjoying this.
It's nice. It's nice to have someone.
Can we cut that bit that what I just said? I didn't mean to say that. Can we cut that?
I'm going to repeat. I'm going to literally, when we win, I'm going to cut all these bits out and I'm going to put them all over the internet. Don't get me wrong. But no, it has been an absolute delight to have you. We are, as always, on our little timer, and there's about 1.5 minutes left before we have to go. But we are really, really chuffed that you.
I'm so thankful that you had me on. I really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it.
And obviously, Anthony's going to be dropping his opposition report this week as well. So we're going to do a lot more with him. This is the first, certainly not the last, that we'll have him on the show. And there'll be more interactions coming soon.
You can also
you
can also check out the match recap after the match. Literally minutes after the match finished, it'll be like the last one was like 2 minutes after the 4-10 which the went. So you can check out, hopefully from the Red Bulls win, the match recap by Anthony, not this Anthony Matsford.
Different Anthony. We like an Anthony on the
we like
RBNY UK.
Yeah, we like.
Right, mate. Where can people find you?
Twitter, Instagram. Same, Philadelphia. Philly Union UK. VHILA UK.
Right.
So yeah.
Right, we've got one less than a minute to go.
Yeah, right. We shall see you very soon for episode 6. Thank you for listening as always, and we'll catch you soon.
Thank you very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.